Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Welcome everybody to Open Hour. We've been chit-chatting and having a good time and figured we'd start the recording now that the fun is over. Just kidding. Okay. But feel free to join us live every Thursday. We have a really good time. And for those of you watching after the fact, we're glad you're here too. So welcome to Community Open Hour. I am your host, Janae Andrus. I'm the SALT Project Community Manager. It is June 17th already. It's mid-June. And we're excited you're here. We are one of just the best open source projects out there. And if you want to reach us directly, we are at saltproject@vmware.com. You can also find all the things at saltproject.io. So that is us. And also, let's get to this. We are everywhere. And so I just want to highlight this for a second. As SALT Project, you can find us just about everywhere. We're on YouTube, we're on GitHub, we're on Slack, we're on Twitch, we're on Reddit, we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, we're everywhere. So your ultimate source of truth will be saltproject.io, but look for us in all these other places as well. Okay, now I have to get smart enough to go backwards. I just zipped past the agenda slide and we're just gonna stay past it. So, okay, we're just gonna dive right in to the agenda. I'm breaking Sage's brain because I'm going against protocol of showing the agenda. Okay, Sage and I are both process people, so.
But I don't care. I actually prefer some of that, like, why are slides only go in one direction? Can't I do this like all over? Can't this be like spherical?
Flip it around, right? A Russian
Come on,
roulette of
I gotta go on a
slides.
line. That's dumb.
Wouldn't that be a fun game if it's just a Russian roulette of slides and really challenge the presenter? Like,
So,
now
like,
we're doing
Prezi,
this.
so Prezi does this really well. You know, everybody else doesn't, all the other tools don't do it very well. But I like that sort of like, I want to go to this slide wherever, you know, like,
That is
I love
cool.
that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, PowerPoint thinks I have to be organized, whatever.
Well, I can be organized and still look like chaos. They just don't know.
That's right. That is the epitome of SALT Project. Organized chaos. Okay, so June virtual meetups were yesterday and they were awesome. So if you missed them, you missed out, but actually you didn't miss out because they are going to be available later today on YouTube for your consumption. And so if you're watching this on YouTube, they are already posted. And they're awesome. So we did a behind the scenes of the hacks with our very own Tom and Chunga themselves, the co-hosts of The Hacks, which is an incredibly quick growing, award-winning global podcast that is so entertaining and informative and a lot of fun. And it's Tom and Chunga. So it's a great podcast. And they really shared a lot of stuff of some behind the scenes things. Gary asked some great questions in there. Gary, thanks for being there. And Gareth was there. David was there too. So I see some familiar faces. And we just had a really good time. There were some things that Chunga said that I was like, oh man, do I need to check with Tom later that was okay to say? So there's some good stuff in there. Be sure to check it out. It was a good time. And then we also had a really cool virtual meetup later on, which was really great. We actually expanded into the APJ region, the Asia Pacific Japan region, and we had a really good time. We had huge numbers of attendance. Lots of people were there. And Tom gave a really great presentation on Config Management 101. And it was fantastic. And they're already clamoring to have more. So we will make this a regular thing. So our APJ meetup was just a huge success. Be sure to check it out. It will also be on YouTube. So awesome virtual meetups for June. Keep an eye out for our announcements about July virtual meetups. We will keep you posted. So the store, you can go to saltproject.io and there will be a link to the store, and the Salt Stack swag is still there. There's a little bit left. A lot of it's gone, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm trying to leave it there to give everyone the chance to get every last little bit. And then we will roll out our Salt Project branded things by the end of the summer. So you have the summer to grab your last morsels of the Salt Stack things, and when they're gone, they're gone. So I know we still have a bunch of the Death Star posters because we happened to order a whole bunch just before we switched to Salt Project. But yeah, a lot of the other things are gone. So go click through and find what's there. It's all heavily discounted, 60 to 80% off. So honestly, the t-shirts are really great. Yeah, so it's awesome. Okay, so be sure to check that out. Salt Comp. So this is actually really exciting. Our call for speakers is open officially. So if you have content that you would like highlighted in our user conference that we do every year. So this is Salt Comp 21. I want to say it's our ninth annual conference. And November 3rd and 4th, it is virtual. The theme is bigger, better, faster, stronger. So if Salt has made anything bigger, better, faster, or stronger for you, or all of the above, we want to hear about it. Tell us about it. So please submit any content you have. You can do that at saltcomp.com. The website is live and the call for speakers is open. So you can also register as well. That's open as well. So SaltComp is up and rolling. Don't miss out. And again, I want to say about call for speakers that if you have a use case and you're not sure it's developed enough to be an entire presentation, tell us anyway. Put that in the notes. We'll work with you. I'm really invested in making sure that the community is well represented at this conference because it's going to be a 2-day event. We have a lot of time and space to be able to spread out the content and have a lot of people there. And I'll be honest with you, we have a lot of content on kind of a lot of different themes, but I really want to make sure we keep a lot of space for the community to share use cases, to share experiences, to share topical things. So the content panel will be giving preference to community members and to those use cases. So now's your time, and it is virtual, so it's way less intimidating to present. If you ever wanted to get into presenting, this is such a great time to do it. So just reach out to me, even if you just have something small. We can either help you develop it into something larger, or we can connect you with someone else who has something small and you can tag team a presentation. We have a lot of flexibility and we really do want to work with you and make sure the community is represented. So don't hesitate if you have something. We've got the next 6 weeks to get that in. So June 14th to July 26th, send us what you have. We can't wait to see it. Okay, working groups. This week we had security, Windows, and Mac working groups. Next week we'll have formulas and docs. If you ever thought about being involved in a working group, come get involved. If you want to learn more about what we do in working groups, we did have a virtual meetup on that last month, and that's on our YouTube channel. If you go to the virtual meetups playlist, you can check that out, and it's really kind of a great guide on what each of our working groups are doing and how to get involved with them. It's on our community calendar when those working groups are. So come be involved, come participate. They're great, and it shouldn't be intimidating to just pop into one and join and talk to our awesome community members. So, okay, I'm going to turn this over to our release manager herself, Sage, for the release updates.
So I'm sorry I don't have a slide ready. I was putting together more dates than even just this and didn't get the slide all the way together, but we'll start putting that together for the Silicon release. The GA target date is September 22nd. And the reason that's out a bit is because we do want to make sure that we have a regular 4-week RC process in place to test a release candidate. So we're putting that as August 25th. Another reason for that is that summer is difficult to find non-holiday weeks and schedules and people being gone all over the globe. So we are putting this out a bit. And this should also help us to get a few more things into this release cycle as we're kind of looking at that. And as we delayed, to kind of take a breath and go, okay, these are the dates, this is what we're going to hit. And here's where, we're not really going to do code freeze quite so much as we did before, but we will go into that freeze where we're putting things into a different branch and we're looking not to do too much with that release candidate unless it affects it or there's something critical. So I will give those dates next week. And if I can, I'll try to post them if I can get that slide looking better. I actually messed up the formatting so bad that I had to start over. So yeah, way to go, Sage. Nice job. Formatting's not my friend, but here's our dates. So RC date, August 25th, and then GA target date, September 22nd. Yay!
Woohoo.
We still have a lot of stuff in our backlog. So looking at that, if you want to go see the milestone and what's available, and you want to help us with some of those other issues that have not been, that are our goals or our stretch goals for the release, please help us out. We'd love to do that. Let me know. You can always find me on GitHub at Sage3H. And then, of course, our new release date is June 23rd for the point release for 3003.1. We're still marching towards that. No reason to change that at this time. And looking forward to that next week.
Should be awesome. Thanks, Sage. Okay, so that's what we have for y'all. And we'd love to hear what you guys have for us. So it's your time to ask questions, to tell us jokes, bring up concerns, anything you're seeing that you'd like done differently, better, things you're seeing that you're really liking that you want to make sure we keep doing. Now's the time. We want to hear from you. Gary, what'd you think of the meetup yesterday?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, you get two really big personalities like Tom and Chunga in the room. It was really cool.
It was a lot of fun.
You haven't listened to the hacks, you should, because they're hilarious. They are so funny. I will listen to podcasts and the hacks when I'm like walking my dogs or whatever. And I'll just, be laughing. I'm sure people think I'm nuts, but they're hilarious.
Yeah, they're pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
and
they are. They're big.
I think today with my question was just like, oh God, not another acquisition question. I deal with these every meetup.
I know Gary asked a really good question about how VMware received the Hacks podcast during the acquisition. And yeah, I thought it actually ended up being really good. I loved the kind of backstory that Tom and Chunga gave, but that's funny. I was kind of like, what direction is this going to go?
That's a big topic. Could be potentially. It's like, well, So I guess I will say that VMware recognizes, in the US at least, tomorrow as a holiday for Juneteenth. So those of us in the US will be off. So I did cancel the Twitch stream for Tyler and took that off the schedule. And so that won't be happening. We'll resume that on Monday. I think on Monday, or is it Wednesday? Oh, Tyler, you're here. You can correct me. Sorry.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday. After I said it, I was like, what? I'm wrong. But we'll resume that. And I think that's all I was going to say about that. I don't think I have anything else about the schedule necessarily. We will do test clinic, and of course, as Janae already said, we will have formulas and docs next week, and all of our other, grooming, triage, that stuff. You guys will see us at the open hour.
And just to answer the questions in the chat, I just typed some responses, but for those of you watching after the fact, international shipping for the store. So you can get to the store through saltproject.io, and international shipping is $16 flat. If you're here live, I did share a code in the chat to discount that. And then, but email us at saltproject@vmware.com. If you're just ordering something small that's international, I don't want you to pay $16 for international shipping. So just email me and I'll get you set up. And then to answer the other question, call for speakers is open on saltconf.com. So if you go to saltconf.com, you'll be able to click, it's like one of the very first links to submit your proposal for saltconf. So that is all there. And just so you know, when you click that button on saltconf to submit your proposal, don't be afraid to go click it well before you're ready to submit something, because there's a lot of information. It'll bring you to a Google form that has a lot of information about what kind of things we're looking for, how to submit it, some ideas, the parameters. So if you have questions or whatever, just click into it and read through that. It's not like as soon as you click, you have to, sign your firstborn away if you don't submit your proposal or something. So just click it, read the information. You don't have to submit it right away. Is it dark? That was my first thought of what would happen if you click the button, sign your child away, or your favorite cat or something. I don't know. People, what matters to people?
A common saying. sarcastically, your firstborn.
Right.
Because we all know you're kidding.
Yes, I'm kidding.
Right. In case your
Um,
sarcasm meter is broken.
That was a joke that was derived from fairy tales.
That's
The-
right.
Rapunzel.
Fairy tale Snow White. Right.
What other fairy tales sign away your firstborn? Rapunzel does it. I'm trying to think of the other ones now.
Aren't all of them that, and especially like the one with the
Rumpelstiltskin?
cane princesses.
Yeah,
That's interesting. I
Rumpelstiltskin.
thought about that before.
Anyway,
You guys are a quiet group. We just got a lot of crickets. I mean, Janae and I are loads of fun, but we'd love to hear from you.
right?
Ask us some questions.
We have a pretty big
So-
group here today. So
I actually had a question. The saltconf.com is open and it's to post. Oh, good. That was my question. Call for speakers is open on saltconf.com. I can get that out.
yes,
Awesome. Because I was like, is it live? I think it
it's
is.
live. Yeah,
haven't
the
checked.
site went live last week and it didn't semi-kill me. It's fine.
Yeah, I thought it did, but I actually haven't gone to check.
Whew,
I have
yeah.
a few other things. No.
Oh, I think it took me like 4 days to recover from everything it took to get that live, but it is live and it is awesome, you guys. So yeah, it's great. And if you're on it and you see how great it is and you want to tell me how great it is, I'm okay with that, I guess. No, it's pretty good. That was fun.
Is there something significant about all the Fs in salt comp being like swoopy?
Okay, right? Like, no, it's
Oh, I have
just,
to go look.
I'm so glad you said that, Gareth, because that was one of my first thoughts as I looked at it and I was like, are the F's weird? And then I just remembered it's the font we ended up with and the F happens to look like that. And for about 30 seconds, I'm like, should we change the font? And then I was like, nope. So just not gonna micromanage that little detail. So it's just the font.
It's kind of a monkey tail.
Well, now I think we need to have some sort of backstory. Like there's a reason for it.
A reason for the
yes.
font?
Like it's a contest.
It's it's swoopy because we want people to know how fun Salt Comp's gonna be. So we wanted the F's to just be extra fun. That's best I got on the fly, Gareth. Or it looks like a slide, and we're gonna come out with a promo slide into Salt Comp. Oh man, I'm tired, you guys. So speaking of weird little things, you know, our S logo, and which, by the way, I love our 2 jokes with that. It looks like escargot, like a snail, and then it looks like an escalator. Anyway, I find a lot of fun with that. So I actually asked our graphic designer to come up with a sticker that calls out one of those 2 jokes. And so I don't know if she's going to roll with the escalator or the escargot, but she's going to come up with something for a sticker for our store. So I'm pretty pumped about it. So what are you
I feel like
hoping
there's
it'll
a
be?
missed opportunity there. It could have been a snail going up an escalator.
Maybe she'll do that. I should message her and tell her that you thought of that. It's pretty good. That's a good one.
That's such a big metaphor too, there, Gareth. Using salt. It's like a snail using an escalator.
It's salt. It's a snail using a spaceship or something. No, I love the symbolism. It's fantastic. Is your system slow? Put it on an escalator. Oh man. The puns of this group are just great.
Now, the funny thing about that is that I think that salt kills a snail. Oh, really gonna get
Sage!
into it.
Oh man.
I know
What?
slugs are not very they don't do very well with salt. I'm expecting that snails are the same.
True, and those things together, boy,
That,
we're killing it.
that kind of rocked my world in a way I didn't expect. I'm like, the salt kills snails. Like I can't.
I know, right? It's like, oh,
I need a minute.
what do we do?
We don't have to talk about that. Now I just can see someone taking the salty girl sticker that's on the store that will go away, by the way, at the end of summer, next to the snail sticker when it comes out. It's just
That's
being
'cause I
like, well,
have
this
them
is a
all.
problem. That's
I
right.
have them all.
If you want a salty girl sticker, you have to suck up to Sage.
Or, just ask me for fun.
That's
It's funny because I've used them on quite a few things because I love them and I give them out a lot, but I still have quite a few left, obviously. Well, I still haven't really gone a lot of places, still not seeing a lot of people yet. We just opened up here in California, so Sage is still a little bit like, well, still get my groceries delivered and I
yeah.
take my kids to the pool. That's about it.
I had a dream last night that I was interacting and like just open, it was normal. I was like in a museum, I was doing things, and I just constantly had like this strong need to wash my hands the whole dream. I was like, I touched a thing and wash my I woke up like, what is wrong with me? So
It's true.
I have been out and doing things, but yeah.
Yeah, we haven't
Right.
been as open here, so it's a little different. And I haven't lived here long, so I also don't know what there is to do as much because everything was closed and we hadn't lived here a year yet when the pandemic hit. And so I was sort of like, oh well, all the things that I used to do are now either gone or closed. So I stay home.
Yeah. It's like, what is out here?
Yeah.
So, I'm the same way. I kind of moved just before the pandemic and like, oh, I have to relearn this community. Like, I don't know what things happen. So they had a big carnival in my town and everyone acted like it was normal. I'm like, there's a carnival? They're like, yeah, we do it every year. I'm like, no, I've been here almost 2 years. They're like, well, we didn't do it last year. I'm like, okay, never mind. Because of the pandemic. So any other questions, concerns? How does Tom put it? Questions, comments, rebuttals?
How's the war room on the test suite going?
Going well.
I
I
can
think
pitch in.
Yeah, go ahead.
So so there's one. So it's going well. Yeah, we are tackling some issues. There was one which I've been tackling from the beginning of the war room, which was the proxy tests under macOS. And when we run the fast tests on pull requests, they fail. But when we run them as part of the whole test suite, they don't fail. At some point, I had thought that I had replicated the problem, which I fixed. And today was pushed to commit with the new version of Salt Factory. So it was something in Salt Factory is affecting, or so I thought. But in the past 30 minutes, it failed again. So one, Salt Factory is better. There's less going on, and there was an issue that prevented the subprocess from exiting because of threading. We don't have that, but the proxy tests are still not passing. So right now we are likely going to disable logging, log forwarding for those proxy tests because that makes the tests pass. And I'll keep hammering on it to see why.
Great, thanks.
Welcome.
Thanks, Pedro.
Oh, and I added slides last week, but I think that we didn't get them in this week for the SEPs. I have been doing some work on those, and we did discuss like SEP 19 and like pseudo users for the security working group, and we'll continue to push forward on those and dedicating some time to those. I'll put those back in the slide Sorry, those got left out. I think we copied the slide deck, and so I just missed it after I added it last week. That's my fault. I'll add that back. And definitely working towards those SEPs and trying to push those forward on whatever direction they need to go. So we do have a new SEP out there. We had 3 new ones. One of those was accepted and merged in, and it was about the change to Libera chat for IRC. And so that's gone through, and that's great. Glad we could do that quickly, which proves we can actually do SEPs in a timely manner. So hopefully we can do that with some others. I'm gonna attempt to do that. And another one is to add the point back to major releases so that it's a 0.0. That one is one that I wrote up, and it's still very much in a draft state. So if people have things they want to add to it, please do. I'd love to hear from people. I should go look at those. In fact, I haven't looked at them since maybe Monday. Maybe some more comments out there. And another one, I'm going to forget what it was. Oh, I might have to go look. I had it in my mind. Oh, I've forgotten. Anyway, go look. There were some new ones that we definitely want to get some comments on, and we want to push those to their next status. And looking forward to bringing those back here every week as well, and so that we can discuss them. I may even start bringing some specific comments and things that we could discuss here and get just ideas. If they warrant that. Not always is that the case with each SEP that we want to bring it here and just discuss. Sometimes it's not sort of appropriate, or there's not anything to discuss here sort of ad hoc. It just needs more research and needs, you know, where it's going and how we're going to design a possible implementation and address risks. And so it doesn't always make sense here, but I'll try to bring something, especially for those that are moving forward, and some that have maybe stalled. Seems like we need to address the Tiamat SEP as well. And so definitely we'll bring those forward next time too. Any questions about SEPs or anything?
That's a great summary.
Oh, good.
Awesome. So you didn't even need the slide, Sage.
Well, I forgot that one, which I can't even remember what it was. So I think I did.
Yeah, but I think it's because just we'll go behind the scenes of open hour. Since I was out last week for a family event, my father's in the military and had this giant promotion ceremony. So I was gone for that, and it was going on right during open hour. So and so I created the slides out several weeks so that I wouldn't be scrambling this week getting back. And then Sage added some cool stuff in last week that I'd already created this week. So there was she didn't think to carry that over because I had already created it. And anyway.
It's so funny. I went and looked at the slides this morning and went, why is my name on it?
Yeah.
Just completely.
I had just copied it over and not gone through.
Yeah. And
Sage is
knew you did
messaging
that.
me. She's like, am I hosting today? I'm
Am I
like, no,
hosting?
I'm just gonna update the slide.
It's funny. It's like,
Gonna
oh,
pretend to be Sage today.
I saw that was there. Didn't think about my tasks later. Way to go, Sage.
You know, one of these days I want to just like get some headphones and a hat or something, or put a periodic table behind me and just pretend to be you and just wait for someone to say something.
That'd be
Just
funny.
be like, welcome to open hour.
I can get a wig. Be like,
It'd be like on The Office when Jim is impersonates Dwight. Just be like, what?
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Wait, I want to impersonate, like, you know, Gareth. That'd be fun.
You should. That would be the best.
I have to have like some more animals.
Recreate his
Posters.
background. You got to wait till Gareth like steps away from his desk or something, and then just screenshot
That's
his
right.
room and then make it yours.
Make it
and
my
be like-
background. That'd be fun.
When we were first working remote, I would take pictures from, because I used to do field marketing. And so I'd take pictures from booths and events with the team and just make them my background. So it looked like I was surrounded by my coworkers, and it would just freak people out sometimes. Like Mayhul was like, why am I on your background?
Why am I back there? One of the guys that I don't think he comes to this very often, but as part of our greater Salt Stack community, his name is Dave. So we call him DC because, of course, there's a million
I
Daves.
love DC.
And we love DC. And he has a background that looks like our old office. And I'm always like, are you at the office?
I love DC, but I hate being in meetings with him because it makes me so nostalgic for the office. I'm like,
I'm
stop
always
it.
like, wait a minute. It took me a long time when it first started happening, because it was when we first went remote. And I was like, wait,
Yeah. Why are you there?
how'd you get that?
Yeah. We did have one guy who was like, you know, it's technically working remote and social distancing if no one else is at the office except for me. So we had one person
Right.
who would go to the office and work.
Right? It's funny.
And it worked out fine. So it was pretty funny. Anyway, anything else from anyone?
We are still hoping to do some demos. I'm looking to plan those out, and we'll bring those to the open hour, and hopefully I'll even have an agenda up front so that people will know. that is turning out to be slightly trickier than I thought it would be. Sort of a moving target of when people are off and when it will be ready to demo and all of those things. But I definitely want to do that and definitely want to record some things and bring to the forefront what the core team's working on so that you guys can see it.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I also just really want to know if Gareth heard what we were saying about him a minute ago, or if he had stepped away. Oh, he did. Okay, dang it. I was a little bit hoping he had stepped away.
No, I support that effort. I'm good with it.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Good stuff. We will, Sage keeps mentioning people being out and the rotation of all that. We have decided, so Salt Project will not, we actually talked about, man, do we need to like pause for a couple weeks, but we don't need to. We have, our team has staggered their vacations. And so we're going to be able to keep on keeping on. So you will see just one instead of two of us here and there, but yeah, it'll be good stuff. Fun fact, Tom and I are going to be on our honeymoons at the same time. And I misspoke in a meeting and I was like, well, Tom and I will be on our honeymoon. And Chunga's like, hold up, they will be on separate honeymoons with separate people. And I was like,
They're not married.
thank you for clarifying that. Like,
Oh man, that's funny. I'm sure that
scandal.
was a hoot.
Oh man, that was, yeah, like everyone's faces in the meeting. What did we miss? I'm like,
What happened?
I'm like,
We're
we're
married to
dear
separate
friends, but
people.
let's be clear, separate honeymoons, separate locations.
Totally different locations.
Oh man, really funny.
That's
So
very
anyway.
funny.
But Chunga and Sage and the core team will be around when we're gone, and then we'll be around when Sage is gone and when Chunga's gone. And so it's all gonna work.
It's gonna
great.
work.
With our
Yep.
powers combined, Salt Project will carry on.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, this has been good. You guys are kind of quiet. I hope we do hear from more people. We did have Sebastian last week who brought a topic, and I thought that was great. Please give us some more topics. We want to hear from you, saltproject@vmware.com. And we look forward to more.
Absolutely. I was sad to miss that with Sebastian because I was talking to him about that ahead of time and I was excited. So I'm glad that went well. But hey, we will give you guys back a piece here Thursday. It was great to see you, and we love when you come to open hour. We love our open hour. It's a great time to hear from all of you. If you have a demo that you'd like to do or another suggestion for open hour, reach out to us at saltproject@vmware.com and or find us on Slack or reach out to us however you reach out to us. We are everywhere. So, all right, thanks guys. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Bye.